Welcome to Moments with Marianne. I'm so delighted we're spending this time here today. We have two phenomenal guests coming right up, and I'm so excited to introduce them. My goodness. We have Merrill and Justin Osmond. So most of you know Merrill Osmond. He's the lead singer of the Osmonds. And his son Justin Osmond, which we've had on the show before, they've both teamed up for an epic presentation of inspired messages and music designed to help audiences take their business and personal life to the next level. Now you're getting the inside scoop. This program was just announced. It's called Sound Advice. It's a combination and a journey of over 60 years of unique experiences lived by two generations. They share an inside look to the many lessons they've gathered throughout the years, using personal experiences to show each person how they can face their fears and challenges, discover their strengths, have a positive attitude, and achieve their full potential. So it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Merrill and Justin Osmond.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Marianne.
Oh, yes, what a pleasure and honor it is to have both of you here. My goodness, Justin, we've had you on the show before, and you're one of my personal heroes. I think you're making tremendous difference in the world. And Merrill, who doesn't know you? I grew up with your music, and I'm sure everyone else did too, and just love the sounds that you've produced over the years and the album. So, yeah, thank you for being here, gentlemen.
Well, thank you so much. We're looking forward to this interview.
Yeah, Justin, why don't we start with you? Because for our listeners that are just kind of tuning in and maybe are new to your story, why don't you share a little bit with us about your background?
Okay, sounds great. So basically, I'm the favorite son of Merrill Osmond.
Of course, right?
But yes, I was born with a 90% hearing loss. And, that was challenging, especially, being born into a musical, Osmond family and not being able to hear and understand their music. And, especially my dad being the lead singer of this family. And that came with a lot of tough challenges and a lot of mountains that I had to climb. And that was one of the biggest mountains growing up for me. I remember one time watching my family perform to a sold-out crowd at the New York Madison Square Garden and not being able to hear and understand their music. And that was just so frustrating because in the middle of a crowd, I felt like I was alone and disconnected and one of the worst feelings in the world. But I've learned from personal experience that we do not overcome hopelessness by removing that obstacle in our lives, but by simply just facing that adversity and conquering that adversity by not letting it own us and control us and overcome it. And everybody I know has a battle that they're fighting and a challenge that they're trying to overcome. And my simple philosophy is, you may have a particular challenge, but you do not need to let those challenges have you or own you or define you. And therefore, my personal motto, I may have a hearing loss, but my hearing loss does not have me. And that has carried me throughout my life when I hit particular challenges. And when I hear other people's amazing stories of what they've overcome, it basically raises the bar for me and says, you know what, I don't have an excuse. And, that's how it is. You can either find an excuse or we can find a way and embrace our limitations and to make our life a lot better that way.
Well, I know, and we've talked about this before, you have a TED Talk that talks about your experience and what you overcame, and it's so heartfelt. I know it's so popular because so many people, regardless of what's going on in their life, if they have an illness or what people would consider a challenge or maybe a sickness or something going on in the family, they can really resonate with your message because no matter what's going on, it's all about not letting it control you. You basically are doing you're going out there and you're making the biggest impact that you can.
Absolutely. It's so true. And I learned a lot from my dad. My dad has been through more than anyone else I know, but it's always having that mental toughness. And, my parents would always read me a story at night before I went to bed, and it was always about that blue train that could, that famous little book, and it's become one of my favorite stories because you got to have that mentality. I think I can. I think I can, and knowing that you absolutely can do it. And when the whole world yells in your face and says you can't, there's a still small little choo-choo train inside of you that says absolutely I can. And even if something is broken in your life, which is the case, that's part of our livelihood. But just because something's broken in your life, like in my case, I have a hearing loss, I got diabetes, and we had, and I'll just be very vulnerable and say that, we couldn't get a family started because of fertility reasons. Things are always going to be broken in your life, but it's how you look at it, it's how you respond to that and react to that makes all the difference in the world. And life can be so much fun and enjoyable if we can just have that good, positive, optimistic attitude in life.
And just, from coming to know you and your work, I'd have to say that you provide so much inspiration to people who are looking for a role model. What they talk about, like overcoming 90% hearing loss, you've blazed your own trail and made the world kind of, make way for you. You're not letting anything stand in your way.
That's a great question. And that's really, I think that's more of a personal choice that everybody has to make for themselves. At some point in your life, you're going to face a crossroads in your life, and there will be times when we make the wrong decision, we make a mistake, and we fall and we fail. But I believe that's a good thing. Motivation is what gets us started, and then good, healthy habits is what keeps us going. But I truly believe that failure is what gets us there. We learn from these things, and then when things come in our lives, do we embrace it? Like, for example, our limitations. I believe we all have limitations in our lives. We need to learn to embrace it for who we are. I remember being very gun shy and very embarrassed, if you will, with my accent. I wish I had a golden throat like my dad, or Donnie and Marie and other members of my family. But then it dawned on me why. I love who I am. My deaf accent is unique and peculiar, and it's my signature and my brand. And as soon as I accepted myself for who I was and not what I was so much happier with myself. And not only that, but other people accepted me for who I was too. And so I think that's a key thing we all need to remember about ourselves, is that we are just amazing, just the way we are and who we are. And so let that be a little reminder to everybody out there. You guys are amazing, just the way you are.
What a beautiful message for people. And before we, of course, are going to be bringing Merrill in here in just a moment, but I'd love for you to talk with us about, Justin, about you also play violin, and extremely well. And I think that's such an inspiration for people who are looking, saying, hey, well, I have a challenge that doesn't allow me to chase my dream. You're showing them that they can chase their dreams no matter what, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, part of the charity that I started in honor of my grandmother, Olive, who's the matriarch of our family, the whole idea behind that, and what I do is I try to inspire and to build up the self-esteem and self-confidence of deaf children whose ears are, again, a little bit broken. But again, just because their ears are a little bit broken and they don't have the best intonation or hearing, does not mean they cannot go after what they're passionate about, whether it's music or whatever it may be. And for me, I just always loved the idea of playing a musical instrument. And even though I was told I could never play a musical instrument because my ears were broken, I found a way. And just a quick story on how this all happened. When I was a young boy, I was practicing day in and day out, and I remember one morning I was so frustrated because my siblings were practicing their piano and their cello and their instruments, and they were so loud, I couldn't even hear myself. And I was also frustrated because I wasn't playing the right notes. I was sharp and flat, and my teacher was just telling me to, raise my finger a little bit more just to get the note right. Anyway, I remember I was so frustrated, and I turned my hearing aids off, which means I can't hear anything. It's nice and peace and quiet, and I went into my little quiet zone, which I love, which is nice. But now I can't hear anybody. I experienced something magical. I put my violin next to my cheekbone, and all of a sudden I could hear myself. Not myself, but hear the violin. Not through my ears, but by feeling it through the conductive vibrations of the instrument. And I knew right then and there, Marianne, that anybody can do whatever their heart desires. They just have to find a way. And when they do find a way, you're able to hear with your heart, which is actually the name of my book, hearing with your heart. And so yeah, that's true. Don't let anything ever get in the way of something you want to get. And if you want something bad enough, you can get it.
I thank you for sharing that story. My goodness, that is so heartfelt, and it's interesting. I think at some time we all need to turn our hearing off and just kind of focus on what's important, and you're trailblazers as far as that's concerned. So I applaud you, Justin. I mean, you really do such an amazing job. My goodness. So, but
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Well, and so, of course, let's bring Merrill in to this conversation with us. And, Merrill, thank you so much for being here. My goodness. And I would just love to hear, I've heard, because I've watched the different videos you have on your website at merrillosmond.com and seen all the great things that you're doing. Of course, been a fan and grew up with your music over the years. And I was floored when I heard that when you guys first decided to go to California, people were saying, well, they're good, but I don't know if they're that good. I mean, it's just amazing some of the challenges that you've had to go through as well.
Oh, yeah. This is my 65th year being in the entertainment industry. Started with the brothers. And, we never, the untold story really is the reason why we even got into this business. We wanted to buy hearing aids for our two older brothers who were both deaf. And we learned to sing here, did a little party here, whatever else, and finally grew into what it is today. But, we've had our challenges along the way. And as I've been listening to my son speak, I think you can tell why I'm such a proud dad. I mean, I've got 6 wonderful children. Every one of them have their strengths and talents and their weaknesses. But as I listen to my son here talk to you, I mean, you're talking to someone who has a 90% hearing loss in both ears. He's able to not only speak to you the way he's speaking to you, but he can also play a musical instrument. And my training, perfect pitch is almost what I have. And to be able to listen to him play his violin in perfect pitch is just an amazing thing for me as a dad to look back and see how he was trained, how my wife, Mary, spent hours and hours and hours with Justin, speech therapy every morning. The routine was set very, very early. And to now hear where he is and what his strengths are, he's got this foundation running now and is doing so much good for those who need hearing. And so the combination of both Justin and myself for this new sound advice is something that I think corporate America, where our target really is should listen to, because you not only have 62 years of experience from corporate America to us, to Elvis Presley, the Queen of England, to whoever it might be, Paul McCartney, who have given us advice as we've gone through our ups and our downs, and combining all of that experience with my son who has gone through what he's gone through is a combination, I think, of an idea that will really take off and sell.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all. I mean, it's the combination of the two of you together working with corporations, and you've worked with many corporations, to date, and just the profound effect that it has on the employees and the people that attend and the management. It brings about a certain type of synergy that I think companies are looking to really establish now.
I really do agree with you. I mean, I've met so many of them. The Children's Miracle Network was established by our family years and years ago. And with that now comes almost 75 to 80 major corporations that have been associated with our family. And we're going to be looking at all those sponsors and targeting our message to their corporate parties and things like that. So we're on a roll. We're having a good time, and it's fun working with my son. He's a true hero in this world.
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'm just lucky to know him.
Right.
Right. Well, and thank you. Thank you for the kind comment, Dad. You're my hero too. And Marianne, you got to kind of put you on the spotlight a little bit here too. I think what you're doing, your message, your show is affecting thousands, if not millions of people as well. So thank you for all the wonderful work you're doing as well.
Oh, well, I just so greatly appreciate it and support all the things that you're doing. I think it's making such a positive impact in the world, and gosh, can we use more of that now?
Boy, do we. My gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Well, on that note, we are going to pause here for a quick break. We've been speaking with Merrill and Justin Osmond, and of course have been sharing with us their new program, Sound Advice. We're going to be right back after these messages.
Internationally recognized and award-winning author Judy Goodman works and teaches outside the box of limited thinking. Working with people from every walk of life, her goal is to empower you to be the best you can be, no matter what the challenge is. Born with the gift of seeing beyond our normal vision, she has an extraordinary gift of working with every challenge. Teaching beyond conventional wisdom, her work is described as life-changing. Visit judygoodman.com. That's judygoodman.com.
There comes a moment when you realize you're somewhere special, when you discover that each beautiful creature that you see has been rescued from a life of absolute horror and brought to this incredibly free place. Here's where their lives were forever changed and where yours will as well. Discover over 500 tigers, bears, and lions at the brand new visitor center at the Wild Animal Sanctuary just outside Denver. For more information, visit wildanimalsanctuary.org. Discover true freedom at the Wild Animal Sanctuary.
Have you ever had the sense that your thoughts might actually be doing something? Ancient secrets of manifesting have been masterfully revealed in the award-winning book Manifesting 123 by Ken Elliott. For the first time, the author's experiences and stories in this book describe exactly how your thoughts can create anything. You've been doing this all your life, but it's never been fully explained for you until now. Visit manifesting123.com for more information today. Manifesting123.com.
There are nearly 2 million Americans living with amputation. Many live right here in San Antonio. Becoming an amputee can be scary, frustrating, isolating, but there's no reason to feel alone. The San Antonio Amputee Foundation is here to help support you and guide you toward resources such as home and car modifications and even prosthetic limbs. For more information or to make a donation, visit saamputee.org. We'll help you live a full, active life, one step at a time. San Antonio Amputee Foundation, healing limbs, hearts, and souls.
Well, welcome back to Moments with Marianne. We've been speaking with our very special guests today, Merrill and Justin Osmond, and they're sharing with us their new program called Sound Advice. So, Merrill, before we went to the break, I've been thinking about all these great questions. Of course, we'll never reach all of them today, but I know someone as gifted and as talented as you are, you probably have other things that you're working on as well.
So in looking back at my life, I've spent 62 years getting to know my trade and getting to know the millions and millions and millions of fans that have written in, who have bought our records and all these things, and all of it has been such an amazing thing. I'm starting to write another book myself, and I want to share. That's why this sound advice thing is so exciting, because the Osmond story really has never been told the right way. And the stories that we have, how'd you like to know what the Queen of England said to us? Or how'd you like to know what Elvis Presley really, really wanted out of life that he never got? And how would you like to know what Kenny Rogers, they say I look like Kenny Rogers, but how would you like to know what Kenny Rogers was about ready to do before he finally got his big hits? He was ready to quit. And I remember sitting there with him one day, and we were talking, and he was getting ready to quit the business. He had his first edition group with him, and he said, it's time for me to retire. And I said, you can't give up. You can't be beat. Total beat you. Nothing ever should get you down. And I remember saying that to Kenny Rogers myself. And that those little advices when we come at the right time can really, really stir the soul. And of course, I don't know if he listened to me or not, but he did. He bucked up and he went on with his life, and now look what happened to him. But it's those kinds of experiences that we've had with so many people throughout our 62 years that I personally want to share on the stage, as Justin shares what he wants to share. So that combination is pretty exciting.
That is a very exciting combination. When your book's released, we'll definitely have to have you back on the show to talk about it. Sounds like it's a bestseller already.
Yeah. We love our fans. We love our fans.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you a quick little story for you. So when our military went in to get Saddam Hussein, they went into one of his bunkers underneath his palace, and they opened up the vault, and there was an entire collection of every Osmond record you could imagine. He had collected everything the Osmonds ever did. I don't know if that's a good story or a bad story, but the fact that the Osmond music has gone all around the world and has gone into some places where you don't even want to talk about it. But it's been an honor as the lead singer of the Osmonds to have been able to make a statement and be able to sing some songs that touch some people's lives. And now to put my arms around my little hero, let him play his viola and let him tell his story is something that I'm so ready to do.
Well, and so Merrill, this is kind of it's kind of a question because, gosh, your relationship with Justin, it sounds so profound. And over the years from birth until now, what are some of the lessons that Justin has taught you?
Well, Justin's taught me so much. First of all, patience is one of the things that I've never been really good at. But when you look back at his life and you see how patient he had to be working through all of his obstacles, he's taught me that you don't give up. If you have that dream, I came up with this little phrase, and I told this to Justin so many times, and he uses it in some of his talks, and it just came out of the air one day. But it says, if you fear failure, then you'll never have the faith sufficient enough to believe that God will lead you to your final destiny. And Justin's followed that. He doesn't fear failure. He continues to move forward. And that kind of example, to me, is what keeps me going, and keeps the rest of my family going. He is different. He's not just your run-of-the-mill little guy that's got a little story. He has a huge story to tell, and a story that people just need to embrace. But yeah, he's taught my wife and I so many things about humility, being humble, being grateful. When something happens like losing your hearing, you can go one way or the other. He decided to go up. He decided to take that difficult situation and make something out of it. And I've seen him turn people around that are depressed, people who have hearing losses that haven't had the kind of training he's had. And he builds them up. He gives them ideas how to get going, to get out of the depression and find a new way of finding light. And like you say, I mean, that's what we need in this world more. And I can honestly say, as a proud parent, we got somebody on the line here who is extremely, very unique to this world. And I believe also in the no accident theory, there's a reason why Justin came. And when he came at the right time, he has a great mission in store. And I'm anxious to see it fulfilled.
And especially to be the son of both you and Mary, you know, what a profound family to be part of, you know, also dealing with different challenges that, you know, most people would have difficulty with, and he's taken them and used them as pillars to build who he is around.
Correct. Very correct. And the thing about it is, you know, he turns around, he runs 250 miles. I guess you've heard that story, haven't you? It's 250 miles. Yeah. But and he turns right around and gets type 1 diabetes. Now he's just struggling with another obstacle in his life. But do you think it's getting him down? Oh, it hurts. But no, he's out investigating. He's working through it. He's trying to find new answers. This is a guy who never gives up. The challenge is he seems to desire more challenges than anybody that I know. So more power to you, Justin. Wow. I'm just feeling very overwhelmed with gratitude. That I think a son would want nothing more than to hear something like that from his own dad. Thank you, Dad. I admit that just touched me to the core of my heart. I appreciate that. I'm very blessed to have a relationship like I do with my dad. If I could just turn this right around, imagine being the lead singer of the world-renowned Osmond, right? And he had everything at one point in his fingertips. I mean, he's met everybody I know, and it's so fun watching TV and movies with him because, hey, Dad, have you met him? Or you met her? Like, oh, yeah, she's cool, he's all right. I mean, he just met everybody I know. And yet, through all of that, through fame and everything else, he remains one of the most humble men I know. I've met a lot of people, and I'm sure you have too, Marianne. But with everything my dad has accomplished, I mean, he produced Ronald Reagan's inaugural. I mean, he produced the Donnie and Marie Show, one of the number one hit shows on NBC. I mean, he produced so many incredible things, and all of his accolades. I could go on and on and on. He just got knighted. So it's really Sir Merrill Osmond. But you don't ever hear him come out and say that because he's just a man of humility, and he has accomplished more than most people would ever have dreamed of. But yet he just stays humble, and that's the one thing I take from my dad is that I want to be like him. So I appreciate everything you said about me, Dad, but a lot of it is because of how you conducted your life and all the sound advice that you've given me.
Which, of course, is the name of this great venture that the two of you are now embarking on with all of these great companies that you're working with.
Well, we hope that they accept it and embrace the idea because, I mean, if I were trying to investigate what kept something going for 62 years, what kept the ups and the downs from getting too high or getting too low, I think I'd want to come and hear what we had to say because we've been there, we've done it, and we're continuing to do it. And it's just a desire that both of us one morning sat up and said, let's team up. Some of the older brothers have retired. Jay still works with me on the road doing concerts, but my time has been freed up a lot now, and I say, come on, son, let's get out there and make a difference. And we've both decided to dedicate our time and our effort, and doing it. We're going to spend a few years working together and getting close and hopefully making a difference for a lot of people.
Well, I hope at some point you guys open sound advice for the general public, because I would definitely love to go and be a part of that, just be in the audience and hear the impact that you guys are making for people, because I'm sure that the lessons that you have, while they do very well in business and they help get these corporations to where they need to be, and the employees, their mental attitude and kind of their hearts as well, where it should be. I'm sure that it also would relate with just people in general.
Just to give you one little story, quick little story. When Elvis Presley, he was one of our buddies. He was like a brother to us. But one thing he said to me, and this would apply to a CEO of a company. He said to me, if I had to do it all over again, Merrill, I would go out and I would shake every hand I could in the audience. He missed it. He didn't get a chance to do that. And just think of that as it applies to a CEO, wanting to keep his company strong and loyalty. He would want to go shake the hands. He'd want to get to know the people that work for him. And it's those types of stories coming from a whole different modality, if you will, that we want to talk about. So those are the kinds of little stories we want to share with people.
You can see that would be such just a powerful takeaway that nobody else can offer but the two of you.
Right. I think that's true. Exactly.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, we just feel like we have something that's unique and very valuable. We feel like this could be an epic presentation of inspired messages and music of over 65 years that's designed to help audiences take their businesses and their personal lives to the next level. And it really is. It's a journey of over 60 years of unique experiences lived by two different generations. So this could go to the younger group. This could also go to the older group. But like my dad said, it's an inside look at the many lessons that we've gathered throughout the years, using our personal experiences to show every person how they can face their fears, their challenges, how they can discover their strengths, how to have a positive attitude, and how they can achieve their full potential.
And coming from the both of you, which you both in my book are highly successful, have been doing a certain type of work in both the nonprofit sector and in the business sector, and being able to be so successful over all these years, and also bringing life lessons in from other top people who are highly successful. That offers a message that not everyone can say that they have in their toolbox. You guys are very unique in that capacity.
We're humble about it. We are. We're humble about it. So, and we ought to open it up to the general public sometimes, because I think in a setting that people just want to come out and hear it general, is something I think that we should do as well. But right now the focus is on corporate events where people come to learn how to exist in the environment of corporate tactics and so forth. And if we can share with them training, leadership, humility, take charge, don't give up on your dream. So many of those issues I think corporate America would probably embrace. And that's the target we're taking right now.
Without a doubt. My goodness, without a doubt. Well, and Justin, I think I have time for one more question here. I wanted to see because we heard, your dad Merrill talk about the takeaways that people will have when they attend a sound advice event at their company or corporation. What are some of the other takeaways that you want to share with us that people will have? Like, what can these corporations expect when they have you both out?
Absolutely. Again, we'll be taking this more on a business level as well as a personal level. But everything going from mental toughness how to maintain mental toughness, and when people are up against a challenge, what type of an attitude, how to develop an attitude when things are tough, when things are really tough, and how to handle a situation like that. And everybody, we talk about how everybody has limitations, and how we can embrace our current limitations that we have, and to take that to the next level by accepting ourselves for who we are and not what we are. How we can basically apply all these skill sets and tools and put them onto a fast track to success. Whether it's in sales, whether it's in marketing, whether it's in PR, management, or whatever it may be. We feel like we can bring to the table a blueprint or a model for success by sharing our personal stories and our successes and the lessons we've learned that we feel will be very applicable to everybody out there.
Sounds like, go ahead, Merrill.
I was just going to say, one thing they could also expect that's sort of different is that Justin and I performed one song together called "To Dream the Impossible Dream," and it's the most fascinating song, and the lyrics are perfect. He'll sing it, and I'll sing it, and that's one of the things you'll see and hear at the event.
Good. What a powerful event that sounds. I worked in the corporate sphere, and I know that companies are clamoring to get this type of information in with their employees, to develop a certain type of company culture where people are more empathetic, where they're communicating better. It sounds like the perfect thing. And so if a company wants to reach out and hire you guys to do this and get in touch with you guys to see if they would qualify to do this, where could they go to?
Well, right now, it's still new. This is just brand new, just launching off the ground. Right now, we're just asking people to go to my website, JustinOsmond.com, and all this information will also be updated very soon, this week actually, on my dad's website, which will be MerrillOsmond.com. But for right now, go to JustinOsmond.com, and you'll find all the information there, the contact information there, and we would love to come to your next event, next corporate event, and we promise you we'll deliver something that you'll be very, very proud of for all your employees and your staff, and something that you can take with you and be proud of.
What a beautiful thing. Well, Justin and Merrill, thank you both so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to be with us here today. We so greatly appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thanks, Marianne. We're honored to be on your show.
Well, thank you, Merrill and Justin. As always, it's such a pleasure to spend time with you. You both are some of my personal heroes, and I'm so honored we got to spend this time here today. And of course, to talk about sound advice. So if you have a company and you're looking to learn more about sound advice, you can do so by visiting JustinOsmond.com. You're going to see a button there for sound advice. Click on that and, of course, email him and get in touch with him about having both him and Merrill at your business to bring everything to the next level. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne. And remember, make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Moments with Mary Ann airs every Thursday, Friday, and Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmaryann.com for more information.